Hello, friends. I'm very excited about this story. I kind of know a little bit. I know about the subject, but you'll see. This is such a moment that I've been waiting for. A moment that I've been excited about. I'd like to tell you about the edgiest furry of all time. His name is Co-Lord. Hi, Moonhorse. Hello. And the Celestial Herd. I just joined Reddit after joining a live stream when he was talking about a very particular individual that I know and am in a server with. That man is Co-Lord. Also, I'm apologizing for the formatting. I'm new to this and usually just lurk, so I'm nervous about how this goes. Sorry it took so long to post. I have some IRL issues that are hitting me hard right now. Well, I hope you're doing alright, man. Don't worry about it. I'm just glad you're here. More than anything, I'm glad you're here. So, a little background and a disclaimer. I'm going to say this right now. Co-Lord and I are furries. And I will say this story takes place in the span of months, since I pretty much blocked the guy out of the most part until now. So, I'm just going to go through conversations in the Discord servers that he was in and try and jog my memory. I apologize if this is a little short. Also, the server this takes place in is a Patreon-only server, where the owner is an artist. Here's a little bit of context there. I may know which one you're talking about, but I'm not going to say, because I'm not 100% on that. On to the story. So I joined about maybe a few days after he did. This Discord search system is anywhere near accurate. Literally, the first thing I remember about this guy is going to be a common thing one would see in a server when he's active, until the admins tell him to stop. The almost daily WIP art spamming. And I don't mean the guy's an art machine, oh no. He would literally post just a few lines and then the basic skeleton. The sort of stuff you shouldn't be spamming every other day. And if that wasn't bad enough, said art was mostly really badly traced. And I mean really badly traced. Even Chris Chan writing with his non-dominant hand did better than this guy. What's worse is that he would sometimes trace the server owner's art, and even the art of other artists in that server, without permission. Oh yeah, I've seen several of his traces. Whew, this is gonna be fun. The first time I really interacted with Co-Lord was when he posted a picture of a non-canon pairing of his waifu. He was the first guy to respond after I said I liked non-canon pairings. This is something I never knew I wanted. And it's something I'm gonna need bleach for. And that one-line interaction made me stop and check to see what it is he posted. That was when I realized he posts nothing but 3 things. 1. Canon pairings. 2. Self-insert with his waifu of choice. And 3. The edgiest of artwork. After that, I just watched in disgusted fascination as he would spam his art every chance he got. Nobody doing anything? Spam art. Did someone post some of their own art that they did themselves? Spam art. Oh, I'm sorry, did you post art that does not conform to my views? Here, how about I spam art and spam links to my art? And that last part happened several times. The first time I saw it happen was when someone posted a non-canon same-sex pairing. He spent 5 minutes spamming his own art and got called, and I quote, a little bitch. Because he did all of that for one picture that he did not agree with. What told me that the guy really just wanted some self-wanking material and didn't care about how the art looked was that his early works were really off-center. So off-center, it left mostly empty space that... it left more empty space than Ulfr the Blind's journal. For those who don't know, his journal is blank. Sometimes he tries to add in dialogue or some cringy narrative that is painful. It makes my jaw and teeth hurt from cringing so hard. Apparently, I was the first person to talk about that, and it took half the artists in the server, plus the server owner, to tell him to actually center his artwork and stop with this dialogue. Just let the picture speak for itself. And remember when I said that he was a horrible tracer? Yeah, he doesn't just trace art from other sources to make self-wank art. He also does it to fix the art pieces that he doesn't like. And I got to see it firsthand, with popcorn and soda, when he traced and fixed another artist's artwork because it was a same-sex NSFW picture of a gender-bent version of his waifu. Without permission, might I add. The result of this was one very angry artist who did not like that. His response to being called a hack and being told that if he was going to copy someone's work, he should at least do it right and to learn something was... now see some things. One, I knew that new person I saw summoned or whatever was going to be treated that way, which is why people are going to put me in an early grave. This is also why sharing anything NSFW F at all, I'm going to be met with the same thing those FA were doing to me, then why should I even bother? This is why I'm too different from almost everyone else and almost nobody sees what I do. If that's all I'm going to be met with, then consider nobody here will see this stuff from now on. If this keeps up, I might just end up leaving. I'm not kidding. This was his response, word for word, for being called out for tracing somebody else's artwork. What's worse was that after that, people tried to help him by sending him resources and giving him tips on how to change things and improve things. Yeah, you want to know what happened with that? He didn't. Hell, he even traced the art used in the sources that were sent out of spite. And did I mention his superiority complex? Oh, he has one. He believed that his pairings were the best and that his art was going to change people, often saying that nobody understands how I feel when it comes to his art. Add in his inability to change when people are trying to help, and he reminds me of Chris Chan, except worse. So let's talk about how he got kicked. It wouldn't take a lot for him to go over the edge, and boy, it was funny. The downfall itself would happen a few days after everyone tore into him to try and improve his art style and to stop him from tracing. He started posting as much art as before, which everyone was happy with. Then I realized he and I were in another server together, solely because he was spamming the same art there instead. So if you ever want to know if he's in your server, just wait until he spams art. But that's another story. Back to this server. He would often go, I got some art done, too bad none of you deserve to see it, and shit like that. No one really cared at all, since the owner, who is active with the community and likes to have fun, gets really annoyed with him. He finally got the boot after this one poll the artist did for suggestions. The choice that won was a piece of art involving his favorite furry waifus doing some lesbian things, and he did not take kindly to that at all, no sir. He decided to spam art of his furry self-insert with his waifus and some sci-fi stuff randomly, when the art finally did come out, and then he posted art of one of his inner demons coming out to end the life of the artist and the people who voted for this picture of the two whores. This is so painfully ironic. To make a long story short, the artist deleted the art and gave him the boot so hard it makes the Spartan kick look like a little nudge. You'd think that that would be motivation for him to change, but oh no, you would be wrong. So very wrong. Oh, yes. Yes. See, I didn't know about the stuff that went on in this server because I've never been in a server with him, but I've seen his accounts in other places. I often wondered who he was talking about, because he would always make these kind of vague book postings and going on about how people just don't understand him and he's this amazing artist and all this other shit, but he legitimately stole other people's artwork and traced it and did all this horrible shit. So I was often confused because I would never see the people calling him out. Now, I assumed this was because on certain sites, like your Fur Affinities and your DeviantArts, you can hide or remove comments that you don't like. So I just assumed anytime somebody told him, hey, you know, that's art theft and you're kind of an asshole for doing that, he would just remove the comment and pretend like it never happened. But this sheds so much more light onto this situation. Now, I'm also aware, some of you may or may not know this, I'm also very much aware that he harasses certain other professional artists within the whole furry art community. I'm not going to name names because that would be rude, but I do know about his stalking and harassing and shit like that. I know that he likes to steal their work. I know he likes to talk down about them. I know he likes to throw big hissy fits because they don't like to basically pander to his ego trip about how he is the alpha male and the alpha male must spread his seed and shit like that. So yeah, I am fully aware of his weird stalkerish things that he does to other artists as well. So while I don't know which artist was being mentioned in this post, if you ever do hear this, my friend, I'm very sorry that you had to deal with this guy, because holy shit, I've been watching his stuff for a while, and yeah, he is 10 kinds of a fucking loony. His stories, and yes, there are stories, are... I don't know if I could say they're worse than his art. I really don't know. They're so very closely entwined. I've done videos and on stream spoken about Colord before, and mentioned that a lot of his stuff is literally just art theft or intentionally starting fights and drama so he can either play the victim or talk about how people just don't understand and how he's going to have to fight them even though he, you know, won't. I mean, come on, he's not gonna, we know that. But the actual writing that he does, I've debated multiple times, even earlier tonight, after seeing this story pop up in my notifications, about whether or not I should actually read some of his fan fiction piece by piece on this channel for all of you. But every single time I come to the exact same conclusion, and that conclusion is his stories are really long per chapter, and they're also shockingly boring per chapter. They're really just not worth reading every single sentence out to you, and I've tried. I've actually tried to make recordings of that before, but after a while, it's like, I've been at this for like 30 minutes, and we're only partway through chapter 1, because he just pads out so much garbage, and just nothing happens. You would think something that long would at least have something happening, but no, it's a lot of self-insert, self-congratulation, and a lot of describing how, you know, he is the hottest guy on the whole planet, and everybody thinks he's so cool and edgy. So, what I have decided, though, is something I'm going to let you all kind of decide for me, really. I know where to find a lot of his stuff, and I'm not above reading it. You know, I read it so you don't have to. So, the question is, since we're talking about something that is so painful to even read, and would take forever to actually read out in an audio file, what if I was to attack these like I do with book reviews, where I don't actually read you the whole chapter, but rather just the interesting parts and give kind of a brief overview of what happened in this chapter and then talk about things there. I'm really leaning towards that idea. I kind of like that idea. It's something that I think would make this a lot more tolerable, and if you really decided you wanted to read it on your own, you absolutely could, though I wouldn't advise it. It's pretty bad. So the weirdest part, going back to Colord and getting away from his stories, only kinda, there's a little bit still left in there, is, if you can believe it, he has fans. I know. I've seen them. I have seen people posting comments about how they're excited that he's made his big dramatic return, and they're all happy that he's here, and I can't entirely decide if this is sarcastic and it's somebody fucking with him, or if they're actually serious. Because some of them seem incredibly genuine and have been around for a while. Now, seeing his artwork, and if you've watched my streams and the other video I've done on him, you've seen several bits of his artwork, then you're already kind of aware of what his artwork actually looks like. Which of course raises the question, why would he have all these fans? And the answer I can give you is, I don't fucking know. I honestly don't know. It's one thing if you're not, like, you know, a super talented artist, but you're, you know, positive and create a community of people who are still learning and kind of rally around you for this kind of, you know, support, and yeah, we'll learn and do good together. But that is absolutely not what I've seen from him. He doesn't do that. He intentionally attacks and shits on artists who are different or better than him. He goes on whole fucking tirades about canon pairings and how everybody else is just so wrong. He creates this incredibly edgy self-insert art to talk about how, you know, his feelings are the most important thing. So I don't really understand why you would follow him unless you're doing it like me, which is, he's fucking hilarious. But I don't think that's the case for a lot of these people. Also, I'm not really sure what they get out of it. Like, he talks to them, but I don't think he does commissions or anything like that. Or at least not from what I've seen. So, I don't really know what's going on there. There's several parts of his life that I still have not fully seen, but perhaps in time, because it's starting to unfold bit by bit. So getting back to our friend who actually wrote this story, I want to say thank you so very, very much for showing up, and so much for sending this in. This is just fucking fascinating. This whole thing is fascinating, and I cannot wait to hear more. I hope you're doing well, and everything is just wonderful, because holy shit, man, this is incredible. If any of you would like to send me a story, you can do so by sending it to r/Moonhorse Stories on Reddit. I check it every day, so I will see it there. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I think that still does something on YouTube. I don't fucking know. But, you know, I like it when you guys comment, because then I can talk to you. And yeah, that's cool. And with all that, I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for being here. I love you all. Goodbye.